the Lolonana Cup, I guess. Okay. Which Staph aureus toxin non-specifically binds image? Oh my god, I've forgotten absolutely everything. What does my review look like for this? Wow. It has been almost 15 days. Great. Oh, I have no clue. Protein A. No, I don't think that's it. It is Staph aureus. It's supposed to be an anaphylactic toxin. TSST super antigen. Right. Forgot about that one. What was my one day? I forgot it before too. Nice. Wait, what was it? Was it a... Yeah, it's a one that I got wrong. Staphylococcus saprophyticus is nitrate reductase. Positive. Negative. But I thought one would think that it... I mean, if it colonizes the urinary tract, I would have thought that... I guess urea is not a nitrate. Or is it a nitrate? I don't know, man. Streptococcus pyogenes. Group A Streptococcus contains a capsule made of... sorry, I got distracted. Doing cytometry too. What else? Gas. Streptococcus capsule made of protein A? No. M proteins. M proteins. Find the collagen, right? No. Hyaluronic acid to decompose the collagen. Right. Hyaluronic. Non-immunogenic, as hyaluronic acid is found in our own tissue as well. Good to know. And what was that again? Was that a new... That was a... Right? That was another wrong... Wow, I'm really not doing great. Pregnant mothers with a vaginal colonization of Streptococcus agalactiae, GBS, Group B Streptococcus agalactiae, are given intraperitoneal, no, vaginal, intravenous, no, intrapartum. Oh, that makes more sense. Intrapartum penicillin prophylaxis. Least sensitive penicillin. Well, not bank, right? So that's true. Group A. Group B Streptococcus, so we're probably gram positive. Gram positive. Okay. Camp. CAMP. Campylobacter. Okay. Gosh, I've completely forgotten everything. Okay. Streptococcus agalactiae is bactracin. No, not the no stress one. What's the mnemonic? Oh, I'm not sure. Bacitracin? Need like pronunciation guides with this stuff. Okay. Resistant. And that was... Tell me that's a new card, please. Yes. Nope. It's an old card. Okay. Causes neonatal meningitis. Streptococcus agalactiae. Yes, because it's okay. So that's why that's a prophylaxis, intrapartum prophylaxis. That's why that's important. Okay, meningitis. I wonder if they do that. They must culture that in the hospital. Because I'm sure it's like asymptomatic. I wonder if they treat asymptomatic. That's cool. Okay. Pneumonia. Oh boy. Well, let's see. So you viewers at home can see. Okay. Streptococcus agalactiae, neonatal meningitis. What else we got? Fever? No. Pyrexia? No. Orexia? No. Colic? No. What is likely to be infected? Meningitis, so that's inflammation. Meninges, pneumonia, fluid in the lungs. I don't know. Sepsis. Well, that was the guess that was coming to mind, but I wasn't saying it. Great. I was like, blood infection. Sepsis. Maybe I just didn't want to believe it. That would be a bad heuristic. I do not want to be averse to problematic diagnoses. That is the worst. I really want to be morbid. I need more depression right now. I need to be sad and upset. That way I can think of the worst. I was just listening to a Hidden Brain episode. He was talking about how people who have depression are not necessarily more realistic except in certain domains, so maybe less likely to overlook negative thoughts, but also more likely to overlook positive things. So it's not that you're more realistic, it's just you're biased more negative instead of more positive. Anyway, so nice balance between optimism and pessimism is ideal. Which reminds me of a Psychology Today article I was reading when I was a teenager that I think was looking at real. Anyway, back to this. Streptococcus agalactiaceae. I don't think it's beta hemolytic. I think it might be like. Well, no. I remember the little thing now. I think it's beta hemolytic. Yeah, it's beta hemolytic. Yeah, that little thing. See, that's why I just have to remember that this whole little chart is looking at group B Streptococcus, which is Streptococcus agalactiae. Like that's. Once I got that, I got it. All right, Group B strep, Streptococcus agalactiae. Let's see. It's part of the natural flora of the GI tract. Well, that's nice. Hello. How may I help you? Oh yes, that's you. Yes, this is your sample. This is the second one.
Oh, great.
I'm so sorry, you're not dressed the same way. Okay, yeah, this is R, whatever the heck that means. We're going through it. We went up to 600,000 events. Was that right? That's the first one?
Okay.
I don't know, whatever the first one is. Probably P1. I have no idea. Yeah, that was whatever the first one you gave us.
Gotcha.
You're welcome to have that. Yes, exactly. I don't know. I just labeled this. I don't know what this is, so I just labeled the car. Anthony? Not here. He's at lunch.
Oh, yeah. That's fine.
What's going on?
Do you know how long it takes to finish this?
Yeah, so we're averaging at about 170 per second. So if we, let's see, so we need about 40,000 more. Let's make a conservative estimate. 40,000 more. So 400,000. My bad. Divided by 170 divided by 60 for minutes. It'll take about 40 minutes probably to wrap up.
Okay, gotcha. Did you run the bleach between these two?
You don't really have to.
But
Why do you ask?
Because there are two different samples. If we don't run the bleach, will they kind of the first one contaminate the second?
We see well. First of all, we run some of it before going to the next one because we have to record a sample and we don't immediately start sorting. And we see very few events to cross over because the SIP is flushed and then there's very little. There's nowhere for the cells to accumulate on the inside of the tube, inside of the sample.
Oh.
So it's very, very, very unlikely that we would even get one single cell from your previous sorted into here.
Oh, but they might stick on the outer surface of the zip or
Yeah, on the SIP?
Yes.
Potentially. Potentially. Would you like to run a different one? I don't know I don't know the probability of contamination is, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I don't expect it to be very high, but I'd be happy to run another tube if it would make you more comfortable.
I think it should be fine. If you say it's very rare. run like a few seconds.
Yeah.
before you collect them?
If it accumulates on the outside, then it might have then it would not. My explanation would not prevent that. But when it rinses the sip, it does pass sheath over the outside. Now, if it's actually sticking or their cells clinging to the outside, then that would not be prevented. But relatively speaking, you just wouldn't have very many cells that would be clinging. But if you I don't know what the probability is. So
yeah, I'm just
because I've
imagine because usually if I run the accuracy 6 between sample, I will run like water or something and to clean it out.
Well, that's what it does. It runs water first.
Oh.
So every time I descend it, it runs water over the tube and sets it back up again to clean it.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it automatically did that.
Yes.
Cool. I think I will be back.
Half an hour? Sure. I should be wrapping up. Probably give me 40 minutes.
Okay, 40 minutes. Okay. Can I?
Yes, you may. Take care. My pleasure. Okay. Part of the natural flora of the GI tract. What else? Probably the birth canal. Yep, that one. Hence can cause neonatal meningitis, sepsis, and pneumonia. What? No Oxford comma. That is completely unacceptable. Okay. One day, please. Undo. Edit. We do extra comments here. Alright, treatment for Streptococcus eglactiae is penicillin. Intravenous penicillin. Penicillin G. I'm sorry. Or ampicillin. Do I count that as correct or not? Maybe not. Is it? Yes, it is encapsulated. Yeah, polysaccharide capsule. Why is it? Okay, polysaccharide capsule. Both GBS, right? Or sorry, GBS. GBS. Group B Streptococcus or Streptococcus eglactiae. No, Staphylococcus aureus. Oh, right. Okay, I'm just not thinking. Right, Streptococcus pyogenes may present with pustular lesions and hemochromate, right? And then known as so Streptococcus pyogenes, non-bullous impetigo site of inoculation. Staphylococcus aureus is the most common cause of non-bullous embolism. Staphylococcus aureus does everything. It's horrible. That's why people study it. That's why my enemy studied that stuff. Alright, moving on. Non-bullous impetigo, let's see. Is the most common cause of non-bullous impetigo. Streptococcus eglatiae is catalase. Nah, I don't know. I'd just be guessing. Negative. Okay. Streptococcus pyogenes contains a capsule made of polysaccharide. Right? Saccharides. Oh, no. Group A. Jesus. GBS is... Okay, so that's the difference. Hyaluronic. And that makes it a non-immunogenic. Streptococcus pyogenes. I mean, that's fascinating. Wait. That's... Okay. That's... Can it cause Guillain-Barré syndrome? Because of that, or any autoimmune, whatever. I feel like hyaluronic acid is probably so prevalent, especially in lymph nodes, that those would not be autoreactive. Alright, okay, so let's try that again. Pregnant mothers with vaginal colonization of Streptococcus eglatiae, intrapartum antibiotic prophylaxis. Penicillin, right? Penicillin prophylaxis. Penicillin G specifically, right? It's penicillin G. That's that one. Tell you what, I'm just making up blanks. All right. Streptococcus eglatiae is bactracin sensitive, resistant. Right. Jesus. What is? Okay, so I need to know more about bactracin. It's just not good enough. It's just not good enough to rely on just the word. I need to know more. I need to know what family is this in. It's derived from penicillin. It's obtained from bacterium Bacillus subtilis. That's awesome. How did I not know that? The subtle bacterium. I love Bacillus subtilis. I just like it because it rhymes with itself, or is a slant rhyme or whatever. Damn, awesome. But what is it? Okay, what does it operate on? Does it alter transcription or cell wall synthesis or what? What does it do? Oh, right. Superficial stuff. I forgot. Yeah, normally topical. Bactracin. Oh yeah, look at that thing. Clearly produced by. Looks like a macrolide. What is this? Interfering with cell wall. Dermatological agents. Alright. Let's get some info. Alright, pharmaceutical drug. Mixture of cyclic peptides produced by organisms in the lichen forms group Bacillus subtilis Tracy, first isolated in 1945. Just gram-positive. By interfering with cell wall and peptidoglycan synthesis. Fantastic. Now, do I use it for evidently I use it for gram-positives. Topically. It's a polypeptide antibiotic. Ooh, there's a whole category for that. I'll have to save that for later. Polypeptide antibiotics, ooh, that's a cool feature, are anti-infective, anti-tumor, actinomycin D. Cool. For cancer chemotherapy. Too toxic for systemic administration. It's kind of like it's kind of an antiseptic. I'm gonna save that for later. Okay, zinc salt, polymyxin B, right? Neomycin, ointment. What's this category? So I guess that's its category. Right, because it's, it's topical. For ingredients, lower chance of allergic reaction. Cool. Cool. Allergen of the year? Alright. Great. Wow. Okay. I guess that's why polysporin is preferred to neosporin. I bet that's what caused that. I'll have to look it up. Oh. But it's used for group B streptococcus. GBS or Staphylococcus. No, no, it's used for Staphylococcus pyogenes, right? Right. Streptococcus. This has messed me up. See? I can't even remember what Streptococcus and what Staphylococcus. Streptococcus pyogenes, yes. God. Aerotolerant. I've never seen that before. I mean, aerophilic, aerotolerant. I mean, I've seen facultative anaerobe, but aerotolerant, what is... So I'd like to compare and contrast aerotolerant versus aerotolerant. Use aerotolerant, use fermentation to produce, but they do not utilize oxygen. Okay, so that's what differentiates them from facultative anaerobes. Okay, but let's double check. Yeah, there we go. Obligate anaerobes. Aerotolerant cannot use oxygen. In fact, it can grow with, but use up. Yep, yep, as I suspected. As I suspected. I mean, it makes sense. Bactracin resistant, which is, so Streptococcus pyogenes is sensitive to bactracin, while GBS, or Streptococcus galactiae, is resistant to the stuff. So so I would not use bactracin on and I would not lather them in. So, but I would for pyogenes. Now, pyogenes is difficult because it avoids the immune system because it's capsule of hyaluronic acid. That's okay, cool. So I'm developing a feel. I'm developing a sense for the shape of this organism, of this field, treating these things. I've got to imagine myself in the role of a provider, right? In order to be a good doctor, I've got to. All right, look at that. Whatever. What time is it? Yeah, okay. GBS, sepsis. I would not forget that again. Galactiae, yep, sepsis. I would also not lather the insides of my neonates by giving it with bactracin. Partially because it's toxic. You should not use it for systemic. I mean, I mean, I bet it's immunogenic. I bet that's what it is because it's a huge molecule relative to other antibiotics. You know, it's not just one subunit that blocks the active site of an enzyme. It's a frickin'. Well, maybe it is. No, I think it actually like binds to the structure of peptidic glycan, but I'm not sure. I mean, they all kind of. Anyway, I'll have to look it up later. I mean, I think it's specific. Somehow, Bacillus subtilis has to be able to use this stuff and not be affected by it. I'm not sure if it's large because it doesn't want it to leak into its own cell walls or what. But because if it's smaller, it's going to be more difficult for like the bacterium to manage. Not sure. Anyway, sepsis. Yes, 5 minutes. Woo. Okay. Which Staph aureus non-specifically binds to MHC class II on antigen-presenting cells and the T cell receptor, producing cytokine storm and okay, sorry, I got distracted again. SPPC or whatever. It's that TSST. You know what? I am off today. Toxic shock syndrome toxin. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. In fact, that's so blindingly obvious. And Staph aureus, right? I should know that. So, under other circumstances, I might give myself a day because I figure, you know, I'll remember this tomorrow because I've learned it in the past. You know, today we are being rigorous, and we should be rigorous every single day. If our brain were functioning every single day, and if we had time to actually, you know, I wish I had the fidelity to do that. But today, I think I have the fidelity to remember that TSST1 stands for Toxic Shock Syndrome Toxin. Oh my god, it's so redundant. Okay, whatever. Oh my god. Toxic Shock Syndrome Toxin. I mean, it's not actually... Is it redundant? It's not technically redundant, I don't think. can't think of a better way. Syndrome, toxic. Yeah, that's agent of toxic shock syndrome. I mean, you could be more general, but why not call a spade a spade? It's a toxin. Sure, let's just go with it. Staphylococcus saprophyticus is nitrate reductase. We've learned this, even though it's in the area in which it can cause a UTI. It's the second leading cause of UTI in young women. Still nitrate reductase negative. Surprisingly. Treatment for Streptococcus agalactiae is. I wonder if the reductase. I wonder if it's just too big. You know, it's big. It's difficult to transmit via conjugation. It's difficult to get into. Maybe something about it interferes with plasmid. Whatever. I'm sure there's some proteins that are easier to transmit and others that are not. And I'm sure people have studied it. Like, what proteins have the propensity to be transmitted? I mean, it's an interesting question, but honestly, it's probably already been answered, and I wouldn't want to ask it unless I was engaged in a project that required that information. Are we still sorting okay? Yes, we are. Okay, treatment for Streptococcus agalactiae. GBS is... Oh, it's penicillin G. Right, also ampicillin. Both. Staph aureus, man. That's right, Staphylococcus, Streptococcus, right, group A, Streptococcus, right, we got gas and GBS, right, honeycomb-like crusts, and then the non-bullous is all about the Staphylococcus pyogenes versus the non-bullous and bullous impetigoes. I'm sure I got I got impetigo, so I'm sure that I got that stuff on my face. Streptococcus agalactiae, GBS, is catalase positive? Negative. Also negative. What is that differentiated from? Was that a new card, by the way? No. This card that I had fucked up for you. Okay. Streptococcus pyogenes contains a capsule made of hyaluronic acid. No. Yes. Non-immunogenic. Right. Non-immunogenic. Intrapartum penicillin prophylaxis as a GBS. It's because of the babies and the meningitis and the sepsis and the other than ampicillin. Okay. Ampicillin is also a great candidate. I'm not sure why I would choose ampicillin over penicillin. But basically we're saying group B strep, penicillin. Group B strep, penicillin. Okay. Ampicillin. Or ampicillin. Streptococcus. I gotta rewatch the antibiotic. There's that awesome in that U world, maybe? No. There's if you look up antibiotic ladder, it's the first video that goes to the top. This guy, bald guy. It's kind of severe, but it's great. And I gotta rewatch that because he says, you guys know that you can use ampicillin to treat strep throat. It's gonna be confusing to you, but instead you should use this. And to my shame, I've completely forgotten which one it was. Okay. Streptococcus agalactiae. His bactracin. Something. Resistant. That one's a resistant one, and that's what differentiates it from pyogenes, right? Which is sensitive. Bacillus subtilis. Catalase, negative. Meningitis, sepsis, and pneumonia. And again, that was galactiae. Alteration of penicillin binding protein offers methicillin resistance. Yes. Staphylococcus aureus. Staphylococcus aureus can secrete the exotoxin. Oh my gosh. I've completely forgotten what this was. Exfoliative toxin. Okay, I just have to think of dermatology. Specifically cleaves the desmoglein 1 complex. I don't want my desmosomes to be cleaved. That's no good. I like my desmosomes the way that they are. Little hairy looking things. I need my desmosomes. Hello. Welcome. Welcome back. Alright. Please enjoy. We are at 440,000. What is it?
On the second one?
We are on the second one. He's in there too. We're at 440. Alright, with that, I bid you adieu. Oh wait, it's Foley Fox and...